names that have been around and playing for a while. Like Ricky Fowler's been playing the game for a long time. Now he's still doing well. He's excelling at the sport. But there's been a lot of names coming through.
I think Ricky Fowler is a fantastic call out right there, because you think about the name Ricky Fowler, even if you know the peripherals of golf, like Ricky Fowler is one of the biggest names around right now because he has such a following. And it's not just because of his success on the course. I mean, it's because he was one of the early ones into and growing up in the social media era.
Yeah, and he has really style doing it. Yeah.
He absolutely has style doing it. If you go to any event, nowadays, or if you watch it on TV, look how many, especially younger people, have those like flat-billed Puma hats.
Sure.
That were like his staple for so many years. And I have it in the docket, in our show docket here, but Ricky Fowler's young. Like, you think about it, you're like, man, I've been hearing that name for 10 years. And you're like, yeah, you probably have. He's 32. And, you're like, wow,
he's just been playing the game now.
But
yeah, right.
He's really actually one of the younger guys and really entering his prime as far as golf goes. I mean, one of the things that I think is really cool that you never would have seen back in the day is something like the Golf Boys. Do you know what that is? Or have you seen like their music videos?
I don't know Golf Boys, no.
Oh my God, it's so silly.
Like a YouTube channel?
It's definitely worth the watch. It's definitely on YouTube.
All right.
But it's Bubba Watson, Ben Crane, Ricky Fowler, and Hunter Mannon. And, obviously all professional golfers. And, but these are guys that have personalities that connect with the fans and are able to, bring a younger, sillier kind of feel to golf, which is exactly what the Golf Boys is. It's silly, but it's fun. You never would have seen that kind of antic, back in the day. And I love this. So, one of the big things too, to kind of call out with golf is I did put the top 10 here. I'm sure you've already looked at it, but let's kind of run through some of these ages of the top 10 golfers. When we think about this youth movement that we really just kind of talked about, the accessibility of what Tiger Woods really brought to golf. In a 10-year span from when Tiger Woods showed up, there were an additional 2,000 18-hole golf courses that were built in a 10-year span, mostly due to the popularity and the money that was coming in for Tiger Woods. So it makes it accessible to these young athletes to go out there and play. But number one player in the world, Dustin Johnson, 36 years old. He is the oldest person on this list that we're going to kind of go over in the top 10.
Well, break it down for us. Who's in this?
So we got John Raymond, 26, Justin Thomas, 27, Colin Morikawa, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I apologize, Colin, if I got it wrong, 23, the youngest guy on this list. He's the ranked number 4th in the world for being the best golfer. That's insane, dude. 23 years old. That's awesome. Rory McIlroy, another name we've been hearing forever, but he was a superstar kid coming onto the PGA Tour. He's 31. Rory McIlroy is a name you've been hearing about for years and ages, close to a decade. Dude, 31 years old. Bryson DeChambeau, 27. Webb Simpson, another elder gentleman as far as this list goes, 35. Xavier Schauffele, 27. Tyler Hanton, 29. Patrick Canty, 29. So, out of the top 10, there are 7 players under the age of 30, which I don't believe back in the day would have been the case. I think you would have seen a lot of the older guys always taking up those spots, and
more really Shooter McGavins, less Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. So, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about golf and that youth movement, and I think that it's just really cool,
I think you hit it right on the head when you say accessible, and the way technology has then opened new doors. As it's a very fascinating stat with the number of just golf courses, because that's not like opening a basketball court or something, just an outdoor court in a park or something. That takes real investment and real estate. It's crazy to open up 18-hole golf courses, and talking about a couple of thousand of them in that span of time. That's that's wild. So people, one, have access to play the sport, see the sport in new ways, interact with athletes. That's a recipe for success. So, I think that's some really good insight. And why don't we turn things, though, to a little bit more focused on the Masters themselves. As we said, they started off today as we recorded this on Thursday. What is it, November 13th? Moving along this year. Let's see. So, just looking at the top, we have Paul Casey, who's sitting at as a lone leader, 7 under, and then you have several athletes that are 5 under. That includes Webb Simpson, Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele. Now, is it Schauffele or you said Schauffele?
I think it's Schauffele, but I'm not positive.
Well,
so, Xander, I apologize if we got that wrong. I know him. It's okay.
True golf fans here, as you can tell. But Adam Scott sitting at 4 under, along with Robert Sidorchek, and Lee Westwood and Lois Oosthuizen, South African. I'm going to struggle with that name. That one's I'm very unfamiliar with. But then a name that we do know very well, tied for 5th, who is still 4 under, is Tiger Woods. So point being, there are a lot of names. And actually, we looked this up pre-show. It's 51 names that started off with a score of even or better. So it's going to be, I think, a wild weekend for sure. And as it always is with the Masters, it's definitely, I think, the best golf championship to watch. And some other...
Agreed.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go to our... Who you got with this? Staying on par. Terrible par.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Eric, on who's going to take the green jacket?
I'm going to take a younger guy, and I'm sticking at the top of the leaderboard. I'm going Justin Thomas.
Okay.
I just think he's a good golfer. He's definitely someone that's always in the running there. Had a great first round. He's 5 under, coming out of round 1. So, fantastic for him. So, let's see how it goes. Now, technically, he's only through 10 holes. So it's not final, but I mean, he has a real opportunity to push that. So not everybody is technically fully finished on their first round. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see that as well. My pick, I'm going to go with Adam Scott, who's had some more recent success as well. Did not have a bogey on his front 9 yet, and started off with a par on hole 10. So that's a really strong start.
He is actually paired with Justin Thomas, if I'm not mistaken.
There we go. Well, hey, I'll put a 6-pack on that bet with you, Eric, on who
Let's do it
better. All right,
it's been a while since we've done a 6-pack bet. So
that's right. All right, let's jump into our lightning standings. One of my favorite parts of the show. And this one, we got a little fun 2-parter. So it's all about college sports, but Eric's going to take football on the top 25, and then I will do the top 25 schools in basketball, even though the season hasn't started yet. Not yet, but it's going to very soon.
Great time to start it, man.
That's right.
Yeah,
so we're going to break that down
for college basketball.
Yeah, that way we don't have to wait till the next show. Let's get 50 names out there. So, Eric, you got football queued up or what? Are you ready?
Yeah, I got my football queued up. Let's go. I'm going to start at the bottom
Lightning's
here.
Already
Louisiana.
Clapped. Yeah, do it.
Jumped into the top 25. They weren't ranked last week. Auburn stays at number 24. Northwestern also was not ranked last week. They are number 23. Liberty moves up from 25 to 22. Texas moves up 1 spot to 21. Southern Cal stays right where they were at last week at number 20. SMU drops a spot to number 19. Oklahoma moves up that spot to number 18. Iowa State stays at 17. Marshall stays at 16. Coastal Carolina, that's not a name you typically hear. And in the top 25 football countdown, they stay at number 15. Oklahoma State stays at 14. Wisconsin drops 3 spots down to number 13. Here's the big mover and the big dropper from that Georgia-Florida game over the weekend. Georgia lost. They moved down from number 5 to number 12 after losing to Florida. Oregon moves up a spot to number 11. Indiana moves up a couple spots to number 10. Miami, University of Miami out of Florida, not Miami of Ohio, moves up a couple spots to number 9. BYU is up to 8. Cincinnati, 7. Florida, 6. Texas A&M moves up a couple spots from 7 to 5. Clemson, big drop here for them, especially at the top of the leaderboard, down from number 1 to number 4. Ohio State did get 1 first-place vote. They are number 3. Notre Dame got 2 first-place votes. They are number 2, up from 4. And Alabama, with a very convincing 59 first-place votes, is in the number 1 spot.
All right. That was fast, man. Microphone must be catching fire over there.
Lightning, baby.
Lightning. All right. How about some basketball? This is according to the Associated Press, starting at the 25th spot. That's going to Michigan. Then Rutgers, Ohio State, UCLA, Florida State. Sitting at 20th is Oregon, followed by, well, not followed by, but ahead of them is Texas, Arizona State, Houston at 17, UNC, so North Carolina, still, of course, perennial in top 25, and West Virginia at the 15th spot. Then climbing the ladder is Texas Tech, Michigan State, Tennessee, and Creighton at 11. And now we break into the top 10, going to Kentucky, and then Duke at the 9th spot, and a couple of names now that it's a little... you're not always used to seeing these names sitting so high. Illinois is at 8, Wisconsin, Kansas, used to those guys, Iowa at 5, and Virginia, Villanova, Baylor, and number 1, once again, Gonzaga. They're usually hanging out in the top 5 throughout the season, but we'll see how things shake up. Looking forward to that season returning, since we had that abrupt conclusion, well, no conclusion, just abrupt end to last year's season, and missing March Madness, so ready to see some games. How about you, Eric?
Yeah. Hey, I'm definitely ready to see a little bit more that's going on. So, college basketball, college football, I'm definitely going to be tuning in a little bit. Yeah. Especially this week for some college football and getting ready for it, man.
And before tip-off happens, how about best games to watch, though, until the next time we record? What you got?
Hey, one of the big games I picked out, I'm just going to go ahead and pick a player that I'm really enjoying watching, and it is Justin Herbert, the rookie quarterback for the now Los Angeles Chargers. They've been there a couple of years now, but Justin Herbert has been absolutely electrifying player to watch, and it is going to continue. He plays the Dolphins this week. Now, they're a bit of an underrated defense. They're pretty darn good, so that's going to be a challenge. Then he gets the Jets in 2 weeks, and he should light them up. But a legit good game to watch. Monday night, November 23rd, I believe that's the week of Thanksgiving. Rams, Buccaneers will be the game to watch for me. You
right there. All right. I am also going toward the NFL, because what else is going on except for the Masters? You should watch that this weekend. But on next Sunday, so what is that? That's like the 16th or 17th? I'm all over the place. But anyway, Buffalo versus Arizona, I think that's going to be a very interesting game, as Buffalo, it looks to really take charge on the AFC East, and Arizona is just, they got some talent on offense and not a terrible defense. They've been doing good things.
I'm pretty sure that was my AFC or NFC West pick.
Yeah, I think we both picked them, actually, right? Yeah, just kind of surprise everyone. Now, that's the other game I'm looking at. It is the division rivals, Seattle versus the Rams. Good. That's going to be a good game to watch as well. So, some good ones happening, no doubt. I almost threw in there just to rub you the wrong way, Eric, the Philadelphia and Giants game.
Oh God, no! I don't want to watch that.
Gross.
I don't want to watch that at all.
Yeah, well, the NFC East continues to struggle, but there's definitely not all is lost in the NFL. If you're a Cowboys, Philly, Giants fan, I
mean, they're all so bad that they can all somehow still win.
I know. It's embarrassing.
They have like 2 or 3 wins, so
yeah. Just root for another team till next year. It's just not happening. Yeah. All right. Well, until next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in. That was another episode.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Average Sports with Average Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and we'll see y'all next time.